On today's episode of Anime Afterthought, My Hero Academia, episode 102, Off to Endeavor's Agency. Yo, today's episode was crazy. Honestly, so much happened. It's freaking ridiculous. Like, there is so much to unpack and a lot of possibilities, a lot of cliffhangers and concerns and questions going around. Like, my God. So let's begin at the beginning. Today's episode features a new opening, and to me, I gotta be honest, it's more intense. It's definitely a lot darker. It has this serious overtone that just screams shit is about to hit the fan. The best way to describe this opening is foreboding, especially coupling that with what we learn in today's episode. My God. Speaking of what we learn in today's episode, or what this episode alludes to. Now, my gut is telling me red herring, but honestly, I don't put it past this series to kill off a main character. What am I referring to? The biggest question left to ponder in today's episode is once again featuring Hawks, the number 2 hero, and Secret Agent. Did he or did he not kill Best Jeanist? Now, Best Jeanist has been out of the limelight ever since his tussle with All For One. We learn why in today's episode. It looks like, much like All Might, Best Jeanist did not escape his battle unscathed. No, he is actually missing a lung. But even so, Best Jeanist plans on returning to the field. But upon hearing his possible return to service, Hawks looks displeased, calling the matter unfortunate and ending the scene with him grabbing one of his larger feathers, only to cut to Hawks later on carrying a giant duffel bag, stating it seems he has been stood up to one of his meetings. I get it. We all know that Hawks is an undercover agent for the higher ups, this commission of sorts, who has been tasked to infiltrate and investigate the League of Villains. So any means necessary, right? But my gut is screaming that a number 2 hero, someone who seems to look up to Endeavor, that would trust him enough to go out of his way and possibly even give up his undercover identity to pass along vital information. Is this man really capable of killing another hero? I just don't know. Whether or not this is some kind of elaborate subterfuge, that's besides the point. I do worry about Hawks, especially his mental state. He is being pulled in so many different directions. It's ridiculous. Not only does he have to infiltrate the League of Villains, but now this meta liberation army. I wonder if this is truly pulling double duty, or are somehow this organization and the League of Villains intertwined. Now, I do think it's a little too soon to determine how all these pieces fit together, but I can say one thing for sure. Shit is getting dicier by the second. It seems that Hawks is smack dab in the middle. Last but certainly not least, let's go ahead and talk about Todoroki, Bakugo, and Deku working with Endeavor. And of course, just like fucking clockwork, right off the back, there is friction. Like, I get it. You said yes to these tag-alongs because you wanted to work with Shoto, whether you're trying to manipulate him once again to be into your successor, or you really are trying to fix your relationship. It doesn't matter. These are impressionable kids that look up to the position you now hold. Everything you said in today's episode to them, dude, you're coming off as a dick. That was a dick move. But I gotta say, I finally side with Bakugo in an episode. I mean, Shoto is the middleman. He really can't say one way or another. Deku fucking pussed out. Like, what a fucking brown noser. But to see Bakugo give him the what for, like, dude, ever since I met you, I've wanted to say this. You're fucking cringy, man. But you are the number 1 hero, so I guess I'll use you for now. Hearing him say that was just like fucking music to my ears, and seeing the only retort was an emotional outburst of, oh, Shoto, you should pick better friends than this. I do find it kind of funny that Hawks thought there was a possibility that Endeavor couldn't figure out his secret message. Like I said, there's a lot going on in today's episode. Not only did we get a lot of information, definitely more questions than answers, we did a couple new characters, seeing a lot of Endeavor's sidekicks. Gotta say, I do dig Burning. Hope we get to see more of her. But yeah, my main takeaway for today's episode is all about Hawks. Plus, not to mention this meta liberation army, an army of 100,000 strong, and in 4 months they make their moves. Like, yeah, shit seems like it's gonna get dicey, but I'm definitely excited to see that. So with all that being said and more My Hero Academia next week, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.